Hello everyone, welcome to our lesson on solving a quadratic equation. Today we're going to be using two different methods to solve a quadratic equation. One is the quadratic formula, the other one is factoring. So let's get straight to it. If we're going to factor a quadratic where the number in front of x squared is equal to 1, what you do is you take the last term, the one that's not attached to an x, and you try to think of two numbers that multiply, give you this number, but add together, give you the middle term. So if you're thinking about it, two numbers that multiply that give you 6 would be like 3 and 2, or 6 and 1, or -3 and -2. But remember, it also has to add to give you the middle term. So 3 plus 2, well, that doesn't work. That doesn't give me -5. 6 plus 1 doesn't give me -5. But -3 plus -2, yeah, that one works. Once you have your two numbers, your answer is simply x minus or x plus your answer and x plus your other answer. So for me, I've got x minus 3 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. And now we know that x minus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 2 is equal to 0. And therefore x is equal to 3 or x is equal to 2. Sometimes we get more challenging questions where the value in front of x squared is not equal to 1. There's many different ways of answering this question, and I'm just going to give you one method to solve these kinds of quadratic equations. So what I do is I take the first number and the last number, the 2 and the -15, and I multiply them together. Gives you -30. And then I try to think of what are two numbers that multiply that give you -30, but add to give you the middle term of 7. So 10 and -3, if you multiply it together, that gives you -30, which is what I want. And if I add it together, 10 plus -3 is equal to 7, which is the middle term, so that works as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace that middle term with the two numbers that I just found. So this changes to 2x squared plus 10x minus 3x minus 15 is equal to 0. I replaced the 7x with 10x minus 3x. Now what I have to do is I have to factor out whatever is common in the first two terms. So 2x, x plus 5. And I have to factor out whatever is common in the last two terms. So -3 and x plus 5. If you do things right, this and this will always be the same. The two things in the brackets will always be the same. So last, I'm going to be factoring out what's the bracket, the x plus 5. And what's left is 2x minus 3, which is equal to 0. And now I just simply answer the question. X plus 5 is equal to 0. 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to -5, and x is equal to 3 over 2. Now this may seem like a lot of work, and some of you may want to try a different method. Here is another method to solve this quadratic equation, and that's called the quadratic formula. So if I've got 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals 0, I can use the quadratic formula, which is x is equal to -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now to figure out what is b, a, and c, a is the first number in front of x squared, b is the number in front of x, and c is your last number. So for this one, x is equal to -7 plus or minus square root 7 squared minus 4 times 2 times -15. Remember your brackets so you don't make any mistakes. All divided by 2 times 2. And therefore x is equal to -7 plus or minus square root 49. 30 times 4 is plus 120, all divided by 4. So x is equal to -7 plus or minus square root 169 over 4. X is equal to -7 plus or minus 13 over 4. And because of the plus or minus, you'll have two answers. So -7 minus 13 is negative 20 over 4. So x is equal to negative 7 minus 13 over 4. And x is equal to negative 7 plus 13 over 4. So the first answer is negative 20 over 4, 5. Negative 7 minus 13. Negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5, just like the other one. And x is equal to 6 over 4, which is 3 over 2. And we get the same answer. Hope this helps. Have a good day.